And we're back. Anyway, financing, financing. I think we should play some guitar.
Hmm.
So we've got the Monterey, which you can hear hissing and rumbling back there. But and Frank's got some wacky tones dialed up, and so I know a lot of you tune in to hear guitar playing, and we just sit there and talk all the time. So, Frank, what are you in the mood for? You want to play some
Maybe a little bit.
guitar? Maybe in a little bit.
You have to turn the mics off?
Yes, I'm going to turn off the vocal mic so I can sit here and type. I'll interact with you on the chat window, and for those of you watching the recording, tune in and participate because we like to see you here. But I'll be available on the keyboard. So, the musical stylings of Frank Falbo and the Falbo tones.
It's good. Right? Yeah, this is great.
Well done, Frank.
Wow.
Well done.
So good.
6v6 love, and it's going through a 412, so it makes it sound pretty big. But it's nice that a little bitty amp can push the 412. So, and then so yeah, there was the Bogner pedal on there, and then he turned the pedal off, and you just heard the bump for the last bit there. That was only the bump.
Yep.
So Mostly Deaf says, yeah, the Monterey eliminated the need for overdrive pedals for me. Maybe a fuzz to go off the top. Pick and Pop says Frank is badass. You would be correct. Although Frank is very much not a potty mouth. So he doesn't like to say poo poo and pee pee. But yeah, John Pittman, that's true. I respect that. That's cool. I mean, I'm unashamedly vulgar, but only because to me they're just words. They don't mean anything. But I completely respect when other people are offended. I just don't fucking get it. But I'm only kidding.
No offense taken here. Mike.
No, I don't think Frank is bothered by cuss words. He just doesn't use them.
It's just that never became part of the vocabulary. That's all.
Right. Well, one of my favorite comedians when I was a kid was Red Fox. And he said people say fucking shit because they do. For example, you don't shit? Fuck. You don't fuck? Shit, man. But John Pittman, let's all stop. I'm making Frank blush. John Pittman, I do like both R8 and R9. They're both great guitars. To be honest, if I had to pick, I'd go with an R8 because an R9 to me looks like a fancy piece of furniture, which is, this is kind of hard to explain without sounding like a complete weirdo. It's too proud for me. I don't like instruments that look proud. I like a guitar that's a piece of wood with strings on it. I'd rather be proud of the playing or the sound. I don't know, it just doesn't work. I'm uncomfortable when I play a guitar that looks like a gorgeous piece of furniture. It's
So self-worth issues?
It could be. Honestly, I think it's because, Jesuit Catholics.
You think it's because the guitar would look prettier than you on stage?
No, I don't think that. I think a beat up one looks prettier than me on stage. It's just uncomfortably proud. I don't know what it is. It's not-
I forget who it was. It may have even been some fat dog from Subway guitarist. Whoever it was. But
Mhm.
there's some people that just like won't have gold hardware.
I won't.
It doesn't matter how good it looks. It's
I won't.
just there's a thing to it. Like they've attached something to that.
Yeah.
Or there's an opulence or whatever. Or they just feel like it just doesn't look right to them.
Sure.
You know.
Well, I think it depends. There's a lot of reasons because I've had this discussion with a few people before. And, like, I kind of grew up in a small town. And, like, it's so much different because, like, the wealthy people here don't want you to know they're wealthy.
Right.
But the
No,
people...
It's Prius, blue jeans,
Right.
and a nice polo shirt.
Yeah. And then you notice they've got a $20,000 watch on.
Right.
But they don't want to wave the flag. A couple reasons. One of which is dangerous.
Right.
But I think mainly because they don't have anything to prove.
Yeah.
Like the people that are really wealthy, they don't have anything to prove at all.
Yeah.
And then when you're in a small town, the people that make a reasonable living, because they're so far up on that local ladder, they really want to show it off to everybody. And they want you to know
Right.
this is the brand of shirt, and this is the
Yeah.
brand of car that I have, and this is the brand of golf clubs I have. And they've attached their self-worth to these
Right.
material things.
Right.
And I always just found that kind of obscene.
In Titanic, I believe they refer to it as new money.
Yeah, that's right. Insecure money.
Yeah.
And they want to prove to you that they're wealthy. And the problem is they spend their wealth proving to you that they're wealthy. And it's something about gold hardware and perfectly beautiful finished guitars and all that stuff. I kind of get the same vibe of like, if I play this guitar, I'll be like showing off or something.
Right.
I'm not that guy. I'm not a wealthy guy. I'm not a proud guy.
Right.
I'm proud of my guitars because they play and sound good. I'm proud of my guitars because I can sort of play them. That's about it. Long answer to a short question there. But so the R9 to me looks kind of proud. R8's a little beat up, not quite as fancy. And also, but the shape of the neck on the two are completely random. I mean, they both have pretty large necks, but I don't know that anyone could confidently say I know what an R8 neck feels like versus an R9 because I've played 30 or 40 of each, and the necks are just all over the place. They're big. Some are C, some are offset, some are D shaped. You know, just whatever the wood told the guy that was carving it. You know, that's how they turned out.
That's really true. I mean, they can, you know, a softer piece of wood with sand quicker. You know, all they know is that they're just trying to get through the day. You know, so they have specs that they're supposed to try to hit, but it's not always that way.
Yeah. Oh, and one of my favorite questions came up here. Why no reverb in any of your amps? Well, there's two main reasons. The first and foremost is I think an amp without reverb sounds better. The signal's purer and cleaner. Like if you have any old Fenders, you have a deluxe reverb or a super reverb or a twin reverb, the non-reverb channel sounds noticeably better than the reverb channel, other than it doesn't have reverb. But the guitar sounds a lot better. And the second, and now I think the most important reason, is that there's nothing anyone can build with a tube and a spring that's going to sound near as good as a Strymon Big Sky, or there's a dozen great reverb pedals on the market. And they cost way less than what I would have to upcharge on the amp to build an okay reverb. Now I could do a generic, you know, one tube, one little spring pan Fender kind of reverb, and you know, it'd raise the price on the amp $200. Just for convenience and utility. I don't really think that's a good value proposition. Because honestly, I have that Big Sky reverb on here. It's $300. It does 5 different kinds of reverbs, and they all sound way better than anything with the spring. But I can turn it off, and my amp circuit is still intact. When you're on a Fender Deluxe reverb, when you turn the reverb knob down or you click the switch on some of them, it's still all there. Your circuit, it doesn't go out of the circuit. You've just turned down the gain on it so that it doesn't do anything. I totally get the argument of reverb is convenient and you'd like to have one box with it all in there. For my customers, it's not really an issue. You know, we started out building mostly for touring guys and pros and stuff, and none of them use reverb on stage. Soundman might add a little bit on. If it's a quiet stage volume, they can use a little bit. What? Don't mind me. But I have the Blue Sky. I aspire to buy the Big Sky. I just don't have an extra $400 right now. The Big Sky is insane. I mean, oh, Champ is back. Champ says, welcome back, Miles. Champ wants you to make sure you feel welcome. Oh, yeah, it's a good boy. Sorry, I'm a bit of a dog nerd.
Right in the mic, too.
Yeah. Miles is humming because he forgot the words.
No, it's my pacemaker.
It's your pacemaker? Is it your hearing aids feeding back?
What?
Exactly. Your cochlear implants running low? That's bad.
So,
Hey, at least you're not like Dick Cheney. He doesn't even have a heart. I mean, he literally doesn't have a heart. He has a
Yes, he
machine.
does.
No.
There's something in there.
There's a machine in there that's pumping blood.
Yeah.
It's like some experimental only gazillionaires have even heard of it.
So he takes the bullet, so we don't have to.
There-
Then we can find out if it works.
No, but he's
Right?
He's actually is Darth Vader now. He has no heart. There's a mechanical machine with a pump that he carries
You know,
around.
I think I have all my original parts. I've never had like kidneys or
Yeah.
tonsils or anything taken out. Everything
Everybody's
works.
saying we got a bunch of hum.
I don't have any.
Killed.
That probably was before I turned this down, and you should explain them that this Monterey thing. That was new.
Oh yeah. Well, as I said in the beginning, this is a Monterey that's in for service, so it's got a bad EF86 in it. Actually, the tube sounds fine. It's just not acting right. It's making noise. So. Frank, any upgraded pickups in that? No, those are Andy Elliott's pickups. That's an Elliott Telecaster.
Sounds great.
Look up Elliott guitars on the internet. Andy Elliott made it. That's made out of sugar pine.
Super lightweight.
And those are his pickups that are in there.
Well, just a couple little things that I'm noticing on the guitar, and I've really never even look closely at that guitar is, first of all, the neck plate on the back.
Oh, I've got the cable in backwards. Oh.
The neck plate on the back, it looks like they don't use self-tapping wood screws. It looks like actual machine bolts.
Mhm.
They are screws, but they're slot heads because the 50s tellies use those slots.
Mhm.
So yes, these are wood screws, but I'm a huge fan of making butterscotch tellies with slot heads.
Old school,
Yeah,
old school
so
hardware.
he's got them up front as well.
Yeah.
In all the spots.
And then I like the fact that it's almost like the Music Man type.
Yeah, you can't. There's no contrast to show this, but
You can actually.
You can adjust the
you
neck
can
without
adjust
taking it off.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a flywheel
Right.
adjustment right there. Yeah, this is a
No,
great guitar.
Andy does. Somebody's asking about a humbucker, so we could do a little humbucker action and then call it a day.
Sure.
Michael's Les Paul is in that case. If you want to grab that.